G7 plans to deal with Chinese companies selling military accessories to Russia. The G7 countries are discussing sanctions against Chinese, Iranian and North Korean companies that they believe are supplying Russia with technology and components for military purposes, Bloomberg quoted sources familiar with the situation for Russia. No. The purpose of the talks was to come up with a package of coordinated measures by February 24, the one-year anniversary of Russia's military operation in Ukraine, the sources said. Discussions are still ongoing, and actions by individual G7 countries may vary. Which companies are sanctioned is also a matter of discussion. A spokesman for the White House National Security Council declined to comment. The new move shows the effort of the G7 to block military supplies to Russia through a third country. According to sources, there is now concern that many companies are helping Russia evade sanctions. The US has raised concerns with China about the supply of non-lethal equipment to Russia. US Secretary of State Antony Blinken was supposed to raise the issue during a visit to Beijing, but had to postpone it because of the hot air balloon incident. China earlier hit back at accusations that some of its state-owned companies may be aiding the Russian war effort, claiming that Washington must stop supplying weapons if it wants the conflict to end. China will never add fuel to the fire, let alone take advantage of the crisis, Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesman Mao Ning said late January. However, the strategic partnership between Russia and China remains dynamic and continues to grow. The Chinese government confirmed this after Vice Foreign Minister Ma Zhaoxu visited Russia this month. China has repeatedly claimed it has the right to maintain trade relations with Russia after the conflict broke out. Last March, Chinese ambassador to Russia Truong Hanhui told Chinese business leaders doing business in Russia that they should not waste time and need to fill in the gap in this market. On February 6, Chinese ambassador to France Liu She answered a question from a French reporter whether Chinese companies were selling spare parts to Russia to serve the war effort. Parts are not weapons, right? Mr. Liu said. Liu also reiterated that Beijing does not provide weapons to Russia. Ukraine's ally has sanctioned Iranian companies for allegedly supplying Russian drones, and is now looking to expand the measure. The West also accuses North Korea of supplying ammunition to Moscow. Both Iran and North Korea have denied the allegations. Some G7 countries believe that Chinese companies are selling technology parts, such as microchips, to Russia for use in military vehicles. The West is making a lot of diplomatic efforts to close any loopholes in sanctions that Russia could exploit, as equipment can be passed through countries that still have good relations with Russia like the UAE, Turkey, and India.